Okay, how we going? Right, let me just let's get this a bit brighter. That's better. I think that's the right one. Something like that. How we going, guys? So, it's been a funny day. Right. Let me get the I've already got the video ready. Just got oh, there's 3 up. Right, come on. Which one? Which one? So if we go that one. There we are. That should be on the screen. Let's have a look. Is that the one? No. Click that one. Let's click that one.
You know, when I first met Colonel Parker.
What? Let's get the right one. Here it is.
To his
Pause. Let's just see what you can see. So that is the wrong one. So let's get Windows. That's the one. Okay. We will make it work. As you can see, I've done loads of preparation for our show today. Okay. We need it a bit smaller so we can see Elvis. A bit smaller. Well, that one doesn't even need to be there, does it? So that one we can shut down. Remove. Yes. Okay. How is everyone? How are we going? So, guys, you better be careful. You better be careful. Defending Elvis is on. Oh no! Quick, we better duck and cover. It's so hilarious. Defending Elvis. Be careful. That's so. Oh, sorry, I haven't laughed so much. I laugh quite a lot, but today I laugh more than usual. So, guys, I'm not in the mood to talk about our children. I'm not in that sort of mood. Now, I've been putting this off for ages. I did play the first 5 minutes of it the other day. So welcome to Defending Elvis. I've been waiting all night. Hi, Jane. Hi, Martha. Hi, Emma. Emma, I just watched your video. Very good. Very good. I'm very happy for your job, your job, and moving to the Lake District. Well, whew, that would be a dream come true for everybody, wouldn't it? So you're a lucky lady. You have a plan. Emma has a plan. We like plans in this world. It's funny because when I first got into business, right, this is a true story, guys. So I was 19 when I got into business, yeah? And I would get a piece of paper like this, yeah? I was a little kid. I was 19. I didn't have any money. And I'd be like, right, let's do a plan. So me and my twin brother would sit there together. Actually, we might have been 18 when we did the plan. We would get a pen and we'd like, number 1, fix the floor. Number 2, pay the rent. Number 3, paint the ceiling. Get it? And that was how we did our business plan when we were these little kids with no money. Sell my car. Asked for a rent-free period. Get it? So we would plan out our lives and then we would just, we'd get our little plans. And I'd store it in my little filing cabinet. Bing. And that plan, every plan me and my brother did, worked. Even though we wrote it on a scrap of paper. Because we had a pathway. You do your plan, you have your pathway. So, Emma, write your plan out. We need a plan. It works. I don't know why, it just does. You got to have a plan, especially when you have no money. Me and my brother had no money. So it was like, ooh, sell the car, get some rent free, like borrow some stuff, do all the painting and decorating yourself, do all the DIY yourself, you know, so we would do everything ourselves. We would even make the signs. We would do, like, when we rented our first fish and chip shop, we couldn't afford menus, so we would get our stencils out. We would do our menus on stencils. Yeah, I remember it was white paper. We would get, do you remember those stencils in the 90s? They had the letters cut out, and you would like colour them in with felt tip. And then we'd get this clear sellotape. We would make menus for our fish and chip menu, for our, because we had no money. We couldn't afford to buy menus. So that's how you get started in business. You do everything yourself. Cleaning, serving, paying the bills. You do it all yourself. That's how you start. And then bit by bit, as you expand, you can start employing people and paying people to do things as you grow. And then bit by bit, one day you look back and you're like, wow, look what I've achieved. And that is how I retired at 46. Yeah, do you remember those days, guys? The good old days. Right, so anyway, look, I want to just mention this topic. Right, I want to be honest. Not everyone is happy that I'm bringing up the topic concerning Vernon's saying that he felt that Elvis was, you know, there was foul play. Okay, some people are like, oh, what's Louis doing? You know, he's you know, conspiracy type stuff. You know, he's going in the wrong direction with the channel. You know, he's saying it's just a bit odd. Yeah, some people aren't comfortable with it. Okay, now I'm fine with it, and I'll tell you why. Because don't forget, I don't say that I believe it. No, let me get this right. 100% I believe that Vernon felt the way he did. 100% I believe Donna Presley. 100% I know Donna Presley sat next to Vernon. I know Donna Presley sat next to Vernon. Yeah. And she witnessed him saying how he felt regularly. Obviously, they became close. She worked with him in the office. He was gutted. He couldn't believe that his poor son was in the meditation garden. Yeah. Vernon said it, guys. He 100% believed it. No, maybe. 100% he believed it. Donna Presley is telling the truth. The rest of the family knew about it. Now, that doesn't mean they believed it. It just means Vernon did. Now, what they believed, I haven't asked Donna yet. I have not asked Donna if they believed it. One thing I have asked Donna is, did Vernon think it was murder or did he think it was accidental? He thought it was murder. There's no grey area. He thought it was murder. Now, many Elvis fans think it could have been accidental. And many Elvis fans think it was natural causes, you know, heart attack. Okay? You know, caused by many factors. You know, of course, the prescribed medication was a problem. Okay? Right. So this is what I'm trying to say, guys. Yeah? And that is... So it's... To me, that means it's completely acceptable, yeah, that we start doing some investigative type stuff, just listening to other people, what they think, who was there before he died, after he died, who was administering the different medications, what condition Elvis was in, what mood he was in, where he was with his health, had he lost weight. You know, I just think, why not? Let's just try and learn something. And I do think, even though this is a bit extreme, the title of this is Who Killed Elvis Presley, yeah? Very extreme. It's an old 80s Australian TV thing, yeah? I just think it's okay. Don't take it too seriously, guys. Don't start going down the road of, oh my God, Louis playing stuff about Elvis being murdered. That's just stupid. Don't take it too seriously, guys. It's light. Well, I don't know if light-hearted is the right word. It's an old TV show. Yeah, we're just gonna watch it and see if we can learn anything. Okay, guys, don't take it too seriously. I'm not gonna do shows about Elvis, how he lost his life, if he had been murdered, things like that every day. It just happens to have come up because we're discussing it with Donna Presley. And don't forget, her video where she has told us the truth about Vernon has had over, I would say, nearly 80,000. Hi, Tony. How are you? Sending you love. Donna Presley, that one thing that she did where she discusses how Vernon felt that Elvis may have been murdered, yeah? I reckon it's had about 80,000 views. 80,000 views! Doesn't that tell you something? There's a lot of fans that are concerned about what happened with Elvis. And, you know, isn't it the ultimate defending? You know, people try to ridicule what we do here. But the ultimate defending is, was there any foul play when Elvis died? Does anyone agree with that? I'll wait for your comments, guys. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press play. I'm going to press play, okay, on this, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long I can stay for. It's all to do with the kids and my wife, and we'll just listen. But the first 5 minutes, I think, is very good on this. You learn quite a lot, quite quick. So I won't interrupt much in the first 5 minutes. Okay, guys?
His millions of fans, Elvis Presley was simply the king. He didn't invent rock and roll, but he did carry it into millions of living rooms around the world. Then, in August 1977, at the age of 42, the king proved that he was mortal. His death, as they say, was the end of an era, but it was also the start of an extensive cover-up. Elvis sold nearly 800 million records. That's one for every family on earth. Without exception, his 28 movies all made money at the box office. As the years wore on, the swivel-hipped idol of the 50s became bloated and prematurely old, but he remained an idol nonetheless. Exalted in life and suddenly in death. The body of Elvis Aaron Presley was taken to the Baptist Memorial Hospital in Memphis. There, 8 doctors carried out an autopsy. They could find no illness or injury likely to result in death. But the county medical examiner, Dr. Jerry Francisco, overruled them. Acting on his own initiative, without consulting the doctors who carried out the autopsy, Dr. Francisco announced that Elvis Presley had died of a heart attack.
Results of the autopsy are that the cause of death is a cardiac arrhythmia due to undetermined causes.
Elvis's fans and his fiancée, Ginger Alden, were left in the dark.
All of us had heard at the same time that it was a heart attack.
Do you believe in your own mind right now that that alone caused his death?
Right. In the very beginning, I did. I just, I think it was Elvis's time to go. So I think he took him. But then again, in my mind, there are a lot of unanswered questions.
Did Elvis Presley die of a heart attack? Or was there another, more sinister cause? Dr. Francisco consistently refused to release results of the autopsy or to be interviewed. Eventually, though, one of the 8 doctors who examined Elvis's body, Noel Florendo, agreed to tell what he knew.
In my opinion, I did not see any evidence of a heart attack morphologically.
Morphologically meaning?
Meaning there was no gross evidence of a heart attack.
So what was the cause of death?
Meaning there was polypharmacy.
That Elvis Presley died of the interaction of several drugs.
Most probably, yes.
Tests by 3 separate laboratories confirmed the doctor's suspicion. After analysing body tissue, they reported traces of 10 separate drugs. Elvis Presley had died not from a heart attack, but from drug abuse.
So don't forget, guys, this is the 80s, okay? Don't forget, this will be sensationalized, you know. Obviously, some of the things in this probably have some kind of validity, yeah? But generally, it's a over-the-top TV program, okay? So don't take it as gospel, as fact, or anything like that.
I take vitamin E. I was only kidding. I don't know.
Elvis Presley was no street addict. The drugs that killed him were legal, provided on prescription by doctors who were so loyal, starstruck, or whatever, that they forgot the interests of their patient. As you'll see, Elvis Presley was prescribed more than 5,000 pills, sedatives and tranquilizers in the last 7 months of his life. That's an average of 25 pills a day. And as I said, they were all prescribed by doctors, giving rise to the question, who killed Elvis? What follows is a special investigation of the death of Elvis Presley from a reporting team led by Geraldo Rivera of the American Broadcasting Company. It starts with a reconstruction of the last few hours of Elvis's life. Like many people in show business, he was a night owl. His day began after dark. About an hour before midnight on August the 15th, 1977, Elvis leaves his mansion, Gracelands, to keep a dental appointment with Dr. Lester Hoffman. With him are his fiancée, Ginger Alden, his cousin, Billy Smith, and his longtime friend, Lester Hodge. Elvis is due to start a new concert tour the following day and wants his teeth cleaned and 2 fillings replaced.
We returned back to Graceland at about 1:30, and Elvis and I went upstairs, and Elvis turned on the television in his room to relax for a little while. Then Elvis started talking about his tour and started talking about our wedding plans and about announcing our engagement at his Memphis concert. At about 6:30, Elvis called downstairs for Ricky Stanley to bring up his packet of medication to help him.
So, guys, this is important, I think, because, come on, this is actually, right, okay.
Then Elvis started talking about his tour and started talking about our wedding plans and about announcing.
Let me just go back a little bit.
And 2 fillings replaced.
We returned back to Graceland at about...
Back a bit more. The reason this is important is because it's actually Ginger Alden talking. Yeah, that's why it's important. Sorry I had to go back a few times.
He was a night owl. His day began after dark. About an hour before midnight on August the 15th, 1977, Elvis leaves his mansion, Gracelands, to keep a dental appointment with Dr. Lester Hoffman. With him are his fiancée, Ginger Alden, his cousin, Billy Smith, and his longtime friend, Lester Hodge. Elvis is due to start a new concert tour the following day and wants his teeth cleaned and 2 fillings replaced.
We returned back to Graceland at about 1:30, and Elvis and I went upstairs, and Elvis turned on the television in his room to relax for a little while. Then Elvis started talking about his tour.
So let's take this in, guys. Let's really take in. She is talking about those last memories of Elvis. Yeah, very important.
And started talking about our wedding plans and about announcing our engagement at his Memphis concert. At about 6:30, Elvis called downstairs for Ricky Stanley to bring up his packet of medication to help him get to sleep because he was so nervous he was always kind of keyed up for starting a tour. So Ricky brought it up. Elvis took his packet of medication and started reading a book on psychic energy then. He thought that would help him fall asleep.
So does anyone know the name of the last book Elvis was reading?
Then I fell asleep. So at about 8 o'clock, I woke up because Elvis was restless, saying that he just couldn't sleep. So he called downstairs for Ricky again, and Ricky came up and brought up another packet of medication.
A second packet.
Right. Elvis took that, and then I went back to sleep. The third time I was awakened again, Elvis was starting to get up, saying that he still couldn't sleep. He took the book on psychic energy with him, and he started toward the bathroom door. And I said, "No, don't fall asleep." And he turned and smiled at me and said, "Oh, okay, I won't." And then he went to the bathroom. I went back to sleep, And I slept until 2 o'clock. At that time, I rolled over and I looked at the clock, and it said 2 o'clock then, and the bathroom door was still shut. So at that time, I went in and I knocked on the door, and no one answered. So I opened the door, and that was when I saw Elvis.
According to the medical investigator,
Do you know, whatever people think, guys, that is good information, isn't it? That is good information.
the body was purple or deep blue, and rigor mortis had set in. Elvis had apparently been dead for several hours. After a flurry of desperate activity...
But is that actually true? Because didn't they, what is the story when they were trying to revive him? What is the story? We've heard so many different stories, haven't we? Some say Joe gave mouth to mouth, but we've heard other versions, haven't we? We've got different versions of Joe originally said, didn't he originally say he was in a different position, but then, yeah, so not everything adds up.
2 paramedics arrived from the Memphis Fire Department. They needed help to lift Elvis onto their stretcher. He weighed 18 stone. At the Baptist Memorial Hospital, an emergency resuscitation team worked on Elvis. But it soon became obvious they could do nothing. Even at this stage, there was some suggestion that drugs may have played a part in his death.
So Linda says Tish, the nurse, prescribed the packet. I mean, do we know that? Yeah, guys, you guys know more than I do.
Don Warlick from the medical examiner's office was handed a cryptic note from the police. EP, OD, question mark, DOA, BMH. Elvis Presley overdose, question mark, dead on arrival, Baptist Memorial Hospital. At 3:30 in the afternoon, Elvis Aaron Presley was pronounced dead. But despite all the rumours, and as it later turned out, all the hard evidence to the contrary, Dr. Jerry Francisco continued to maintain that Elvis had died of a heart attack.
The cause of death has been ascribed to hypertensive heart disease and coronary artery heart disease as a contributory factor.
But as we said, tissue samples analysed at 3 different laboratories told a different story. After 2 months of tests, the Bioscience Organisation in Los Angeles discovered that Elvis had been abusing a wide range of drugs. These included codeine, morphine, Quaalude, and so the list continues. Valium, Valmid, Placidil, Nembutal, Phenobarbital, Pentobarbital, and Butobarbital.
So guys, in case you've just joined us, we literally have come across this old 80s Australian like 60 minutes type news, whatever you want to call it, and we're just having a look at it. We're having a look at it. We don't agree with any of it. We don't, it's just literally just a sensational, it could be garbage, couldn't it? The whole thing could be garbage. But there is a couple of interviews in there that I think you will find interesting. Obviously, Ginger Alden being in this is a big deal, isn't it, guys? I mean, she looks absolutely stunning as usual, So don't take it too seriously, guys.
All these drugs are downers, used to bring on relaxation and sleep. Several are addictive.
So Tammy has just said Elvis was addicted to codeine. And I know a lot of people say that. But I've also had people, researchers, tell me that he wasn't addicted to codeine. So I've heard both sides of the discussion.
Findings were confirmed and amplified by 2 other laboratories. The final step was to take the data to 2 doctors for analysis. First, Los Angeles toxicologist Dr. Matthew Ellenhorn.
The cause of death was an overdose of codeine and an overdose of methaqualone or Quaalude. And that was contributed to by a presence in the bloodstream which indicated that the patient had taken, probably within the previous 24 hours, at least 5 additional drugs known to produce depression of the central nervous system, of depression of the brain.
But we don't know that, do we? I mean, that's what these people are saying. We don't know this, do we?
A second opinion from Dr. Cyril Weck, one of the foremost medical examiners in the United States.
There were several drugs involved here. The principal offender in this case was codeine. which is a pain reliever, but which is known to have a CNS depressant effect. Other drugs included Valium, a tranquilizer, Valmid, a sedative, Placidil, a sedative, phenobarbital, a sedative, and butabarbital, a sedative. It's incredible, really, that all these drugs should have been given to the patient simultaneously. There was one other drug involved, methaqualone, which is a tranquilizer.
Knowing now about the virtual laundry list of drugs, Rivera tracked down some of Elvis Presley's closest friends. David Stanley
So this is going to be interesting, isn't it, guys?
was his stepbrother and worked at Graceland's.
So you know my views, guys. If it's a stepbrother, you know, we've got issues, haven't we? We've done quite a few shows discussing Dave Stanley. Obviously, everything we say here is for entertainment purposes. It's not a fact, just an opinion. We're a discussion YouTube channel, yeah? We share opinions. That's what we do on this show, on every show we do. But I have strong opinions about Dave. I think he said many things he should have just kept to himself. Just as Elvis's stepbrother, yeah? Don't forget, he's still at Westgate now, isn't he? Yeah? He gets treated like a hero at Westgate. You know, some Elvis fans seem to feel that being close to someone that was near Elvis, you know, in the 70s, is very special, very special. I see it differently. I feel if you've trashed Elvis in the past, I think they don't deserve the attention. They don't deserve to make money if part of what they did through their life was betray Elvis, stitch him up, and double-cross him and backstab him. You know, so David Stanley, the bottom line is he did say that Elvis had committed suicide. It was a planned suicide. Dave Stanley said that many times. Just go on YouTube, you'll find it. I don't like that. That bugs me. It's completely untrue, of course. Yeah, there's no way Elvis would do that when his lovely daughter's in the room next door. Yeah, so I struggle with Dave Stanley, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. That's just how I feel. As a defender, that's how I feel. Let's listen to what Dave says.
As a security man, how often did he see Elvis taking drugs?
Every day. Last 2 years of Elvis's life, it was every day.
What would Elvis do?
Well, thanks, Dave. Thanks, mate. You were a good stepbrother. We all know how good Elvis was to the Stanleys, all three of them. In fact, to all of them, including the mum. Yeah, he gave them a life of royalty, a life of celebrity. He was so kind to these people, and that is the thanks he gets. This guy, Dave, will obviously get paid money to sit there and spill the beans on his stepbrother, Elvis Presley, who was so kind to him. I just don't agree with it. I think it's bloody wrong. If my brother did this, I would be gutted. I'd be horrified.
If he didn't get the drugs he wanted?
He'd get upset sometimes. We were in Vegas one time, and
See, and this is when people will jump in certain YouTube channels. I'm not going to name them. Oh, you know, this is part of history. This is part of history. You know, of course we're going to talk about it. It's part of history. Nah. This is the betrayal of a stepbrother. That's what this is.
We were there for like 8 weeks, you know, and Elvis was getting his drugs, but it got to a point to where his doctor wanted to shut him off in Vegas.
Now, don't forget, I think this is 1980. This is 1980, guys. This is 3 years after Elvis died. 3 years after Elvis died, this is how his stepbrother, Dave Stanley, is treating him.
And we couldn't reach the doctor anymore. So he jumped up on the table one day and he pulled out his .45 and he says, I'll buy a goddamn drugstore if I have to. He says, I'm going to get what I want. He says, you people...
Now, don't forget, David Stanley has admitted he was a drug addict. David Stanley admitted he was a drug addict. He's also admitted when he was looking after Elvis, him and Rick had a serious problems with drugs.
You better realize that either you're with me or against me. Either you take it or I'll buy your plane ticket home.
Now, I can't speak for Billy because I don't know. I don't know what the situation was with Billy at this time. Yeah. I don't think he was even there, was he? I don't think he was there at the time of Elvis's death. I don't think Billy worked for Elvis in the last 5 years. I think they had a falling out. Yeah. we did a show about this, didn't we, the other day, where who was it? I know, Billy Smith on his show Elvis Fans Matter said that Billy Billy and Joe said it actually, that Billy was not welcome by Elvis or Gracelands for the last 4 to 5 years before Elvis died. Yeah, I don't know why. I've heard different discussions. I do have his first book, something to do with just alleged, something to do with his ex-wife. Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I can't comment because I don't know anything about it. But I just remember Billy and Joe brought it up on their show last week.
When I first started dating Elvis, I just turned 20 at the time, and no one ever told me anything about what to expect, how the group was, or anything like that. I had to learn everything on my own. And the people that had been around Elvis for all these years, when I saw Elvis take something, which was mainly before he would go to sleep, I thought to myself, well, it must not really be harmful if it's prescribed. And if these people over the years, if Elvis is still doing it, then it must not really be very harmful for him.
Well, I think that's fair, come on, Ginger Alden, we love her. Yeah, we love her. Every time I see Ginger Alden, I always think, wow, you are such a beauty. Yeah, obviously, I'm very proud that she reached out and spoke to us. She said that she was really glad that we defend Elvis. She definitely is behind what we do. Team Elvis, obviously myself. Isn't that nice to get a bit of approval from well-known people? Obviously we've had Donna Presley praise us as well. And even, we've had other people, well-known people, say, thanking us for defending Elvis. So I love it, guys. I love it. Now this is obviously Ricky, isn't it? Yeah. I do get confused because they look sort of a little bit alike, yeah. But I'm pretty sure that's Ricky. Let's hear what he has to say.
I would say it was very, very bad, and we knew if it continued that something like this would happen. We knew it would just be a matter of time.
Rick Stanley, another stepbrother, was on duty at Gracelands the night Elvis died.
Were you the person who filled the prescription at Baptist Memorial?
Yes, I was.
What was it?
It was Dilaudid.
Dilaudid, a very powerful morphine-type drug.
Class A narcotic.
Then what did you do with it?
Well, I went back to Elvis's house, went upstairs, and gave it to him.
Approximately.
Right, okay. All right, so even this, I'm hearing different versions. Obviously, they call them attacks, don't they? You have the first attack, second attack, third attack. I was told there was a third attack, which is taking the medications up. And I could be wrong, but that Ricky takes the third packet, yeah? I've also heard Ricky went missing for a couple of hours. These are just things I've heard, guys, not fact. That he went to see his girlfriend for a couple of hours, and then when he came back just as all the commotion was happening. Is that true or not? You tell me, guys.
How many pills?
6 to 8 pills.
Was that common?
Yes, it was.
Now you think about it, guys. He says 6 to 8 pills. Okay, right. Now I remember when I lived with my mum. Yeah, my mum took a bit of everything. Yeah, my mum had a bottle for everything from the doctors, prescription medication, and 6 to 8 tablets for my mum wasn't much. It was quite a small amount. Come on, even me now, if I took a couple of paracetamol and a couple of ibuprofen, 4 tablets, I don't see 6 to 8 tablets as a massive amount. Yeah. So I'm sure many people here watching my show now take 6 to 8 tablets for different medical problems, for pain, to sleep, yeah, for antidepressant, for anxiety, so let's keep going.
It happened every night that you were on duty?
Oh, yeah. Every night I was on duty. Elvis couldn't sleep without it.
W.S. Nash was the pharmacist on duty when Rick Stanley went to have the prescription filled. It was for Dilaudid, a drug so powerful that scripts are usually issued only in serious cases. And Elvis, remember, had only had a couple of fillings. Mr. Nash is now retired, but he's still haunted by the night of August the 15th, 1977.
Had that been the only drug he had taken, it probably wouldn't have killed him. But in combination with others, I'm almost sure it did.
So far, we've established that Elvis Presley was dependent on drugs. Drugs prescribed by doctors who were supposed to help him. Instead, they helped Elvis to destroy himself.
I mean, come on. I know that no one likes to hear this, guys. But the bottom line is, it's an old 80s Australian 60-minute TV program designed to shock us so that they get views and it boosts the ratings. So I understand how this, for some of you, is a bit upsetting. Okay, guys? I'm not really sure why it's gone quiet. Let me just... That might be it, guys. Have a look. Hang on 1 second, guys.
Who do it for monetary gain.
More about that.
To a bar, and the bar that causes their death. He'd either have to be a retarded...
In charge of the narcotics division of the Los Angeles Police Department. He retired to become a private investigator, and between 1969 and 1975 made several inquiries into the people who were supplying Elvis Presley with drugs. His client was Vernon Presley, Elvis's own father.
In your opinion, should his attending physicians have noticed the fact that he was abusing these drugs?
He'd either have to be a retarded alligator not to notice that, or a totally incompetent medical doctor.
In your opinion, did the doctors therefore contribute to Elvis Presley's death? Was Elvis Presley murdered, in a sense?
I think anyone that's abandoned and given something that causes their death for whatever reason is murder. No, I'm not saying first degree.
So what? So he's. I think what he means by that is they give him a load of pills and then they leave him on his own. Is that what he means?
Premeditated, but it's a degree of murder. It's negligence. There's negligent homicide. It could be the same thing. If you go to a bar and the bartender serves you 25 drinks in a row and you die there, somebody's guilty of your death. That's negligent homicide.
I get that. I get what he's saying, yeah?
Which is another term is murder.
Jack Kelly, another former narcotics officer. He too worked on the Presley case.
He could get whatever he wanted anytime he wanted it. Most of them that I found were only too anxious to give it to him.
How so? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, for a variety of reasons. For one thing, there's doctors who, through carelessness or irresponsibility, will get their patients addicted. And there's doctors who do it for monetary gain. And there are doctors, dentists, who do it because they're starstruck. You find that particularly out here in Hollywood. And unfortunately, Elvis was a victim of all three.
What about Max Shapiro?
Max Shapiro was a source of supply for Elvis, unquestionably.
You're sure of that?
Yes, I'm positive of it.
Dr. Max Shapiro, Dr. Max to his patients, is certainly a very unusual dentist. To start with, he makes house calls. He's also known in Hollywood as a Dr. Feelgood, a man who makes his patients feel no pain by prescribing narcotics, whether there's a medical need for them or not.
How would you respond to being called a Dr. Feelgood?
Dr. Painless would be all right. But if I worked on a patient, they would never have pain. That was one of my very, very strong attitudes. I myself am afraid of pain, and I understand what a patient goes through. I've been lied to by doctors. They told me things wouldn't hurt, and they treated me, and it did hurt.
Did you make sure that Elvis suffered no pain?
Yes, of course, as all patients.
Outside the office later, Revere...
Yeah, I mean, that's concerning, isn't it, guys? Because, I found that uncomfortable. He's basically saying, I'm going to give him whatever he wants to make him float. Yeah? I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Asked Dr. Max for a quick glance inside his briefcase.
No, because I have narcotics in there now. and things. So I don't like to have it open and displayed. I don't like people even know where I keep things because I've been robbed.
But there are narcotics in there now.
Yes, there are narcotics in here now.
Earlier, Rivera managed a brief look. He saw 15 to 20 bottles of narcotics, but no dental tools.
Max gave Elvis anything he wanted. He was like the rest of most of the doctors, just gave him any kind of medication he wanted, volunteered it.
Like what?
I mean, that is sad, isn't it? That is sad that they literally would give him whatever he wanted.
Well, barbiturates, some narcotics, amphetamines, things like that.
Quaaludes?
Oh, yeah, Quaaludes.
Elvis was never a drug taker, and he never took drugs at all. The only thing he took was sleeping pills just to sleep, just like everybody else, I guess, in his field. But I've never known Elvis to take any hard drugs whatsoever.
Dr. Elias Gannon was Elvis's doctor in Las Vegas. Rick Stanley disputes his claim that he never provided the singer with narcotics.
Elias was no different than the rest. You know, Elias did the same thing. Now, I'll say, Elias, to me, seemed like he cared for Elvis. But, you know, after a while, he fell into it like the rest of them and just was giving him whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted.
Were there any doctors that said no to Elvis Presley?
Not that I know of. And I was around him for a long, long time. Not that I know of. Nobody hardly said no to Elvis Presley.
Dr. Gannon refused to be interviewed, but the doctor closest to Elvis Presley was George Nicopolis, known to
Here goes, guys.
the members of the so-called Memphis Mafia as Dr. Nick.
The records indicate
So I think this is probably going to be the most interesting part, yeah?
that, especially in the last year of his life, you prescribed certain medications to Elvis Presley in quite extraordinarily large amounts. Why?
I can't comment on that, and I don't believe that's true.
Well, the record...
I can't comment on that, and I don't believe it's true. I can't comment on that, but I don't believe it's true. So you did comment.
Records we have, Doctor, and I'll say this as gently as I possibly can, indicate that from January 20th, 1977,
Can you see how uncomfortable? He really looks uncomfortable.
until August 16th, 1977, the day he died, you prescribed to Elvis Presley, and the prescriptions are all signed by you, over 5,000 Schedule II narcotics and or amphetamines. That comes out to something like 25 per day.
I don't believe that.
Well, is it something that you'd like to refresh your recollection on, or is it something that you deny?
I deny.
After that interview, the state of Tennessee began proceedings to stop Dr. Nick from practicing medicine, principally because of his treatment of Elvis Presley.
We have charged him with unprofessional conduct, gross incompetence, gross ignorance, gross negligence, and gross malpractice concerning his dispensing of narcotic substances. Specifically, we have charged him with dispensing, prescribing, and issuing narcotic and controlled substances not in good faith to relieve pain and not for a legitimate medical reason.
This is the worst case of overprescribing or of indiscriminate prescribing that I have ever seen in my time as an investigator with the state of Tennessee.
The charges against Dr. Nick list 16 patients, including Jerry Lee Lewis and the doctor's own daughter, Chrissy. But it was Elvis Presley who got the lion's share, more than 5,400 pills in the last 7 months of his life, 25 pills a day.
Why would you prescribe that amount of drugs in that limited period of time?
I think you didn't understand me. I said, I don't think that I did.
You don't think that you did? Or
I know I did.
You absolutely stating that you did not?
Friendship was certainly one reason why Dr. Nick gave Elvis whatever he wanted, virtually whenever he wanted it. But he also depended heavily on Elvis and his entourage for financial support. Dr. Nick is in big trouble because of his investment in this $5 million office complex. only 1/3 of the building is occupied. The record shows that the doctor borrowed $200,000 from Elvis in 1975 and another $55,000 in 1977.
Which is worrying, isn't it, guys? I mean, come on, when you mix lending money to your doctor, there's a problem.
Much of the money went towards his elaborate home in Memphis.
May I ask one question? One general question. Do you have any regrets, Doctor?
No regrets.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised he even agrees to this interview. He doesn't want to be there, does he? You can clearly see he's very agitated, very uncomfortable, just doesn't want to answer the questions. I'm not really sure why he agreed to it, unless they offered him a load of money.
Right opposite the doctor's office is the pharmacy where most of the prescriptions were filled. Jack Kirsch never thought to question the dosage. More than 5,000 pills in 7 months. 600 on the day before Elvis died.
Yes, possibly in my own mind I would question this thing, but I never questioned the doctor.
In light of what happened to Elvis Presley, do you have any regrets?
I fill prescriptions. I did not give the drugs to the patient. I gave the prescriptions to the doctor. No, I don't have any regrets.
You were just following orders.
I was following orders.
For 2 years, Memphis did more than mourn its favourite son. It also covered up for him and for the people who had a hand in his death. Point 1. There was no real police investigation. 6 hours after Elvis was pronounced dead, long before the medical or scientific evidence was available, the Memphis police said the case was closed. Point 2. Medical authorities who searched Gracelands for drugs now admit they didn't search the resident nurse's caravan, where all the drugs were kept. Point 3. Elvis Presley's stomach contents were destroyed without being analysed.
Is that true? Is that true? His stomach contents were destroyed.
Point 4. There was no inquest. Point 5.
Is that true? There was no inquest?
No attempt was made to find where Elvis got his drugs. Point 6. All photographs of the death scene, toxicological reports and notes made by the medical examiner were destroyed.
Is that true, guys? Were they destroyed or are they in the sealed autopsy?
Little wonder city officials suspect a cover-up.
The Elvis mystique completely pervades the Memphis area. And if there are individuals who are so concerned with the mystique that they do not care to know the truth, then I feel that somewhere along the way, someone has to take it upon himself to see that the truth is brought up.
But you definitely feel there's a cover-up.
I'm positive about that.
What do you reckon, guys? Is there a cover-up?
The question is not, did he die because his heart stopped? Of course he did, but why did his heart stop? Why did he have an irregular heartbeat?
Yeah, I think we have to accept, I think we agree on that, yeah? We know his heart stopped, but why did it stop? Was there foul play? You can't ignore it. I do accept that the murder theory is very extreme, very worrying, but extreme. We know that Vernon definitely believed it, yeah? And we know that he definitely said it to Donna Presley. But foul play, accidental death, we can't rule that out. What do you reckon, guys? Does anyone here think there may have been accidental death where he was given a concoction of too many prescription medications? Put it in the comments, guys.
That's the question that needs to be determined and needs to be made available to the public.
For Memphis, I suppose, it was a choice between the legend and the truth. In any event, as a result of that report, a lot of things have happened. First, a criminal investigation is finally underway. Second, a judge has ordered the Baptist Memorial Hospital to make the results of the autopsy available to the producers of the television program. Third, Dr. Max Shapiro, or Dr. Feelgood, is now under investigation in California. And finally, on top of his other troubles with the law, Dr. Nick is being sued for more than $500,000 by another of his patients who claims to have been a victim of overprescription. But whatever the truth about Elvis Presley, Nothing.
I think that's it, guys. Let me see if it plays a bit more. I think it loses its sound now. I mean, it is very old, guys. I'm pretty sure it's 1980. Pretty sure. Heartbreaking, really, isn't it, guys? Heartbreaking. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm off to bed now. I'm knackered. I'm really tired, but do you know what, guys? I know it's morbid and a tough watch, but I don't know what to say, guys. It's shocking, isn't it? It numbs you. Like when you watch it, you're like, I think we all feel the same. I think when you watch stuff like this, you are sort of thinking, oh, should I be watching this? Aren't you? You're like, you almost feel guilty for watching it. Obviously, we love Elvis, don't we? Now we love Elvis. So how many of you here, guys, think it was foul play? Can I just ask that question? How many of you here think it was foul play? Thanks, Nessa. You hope you're well. I need 8 hours. I'm probably only going to sleep about 5, Nessa. Your dad was with us. Nessa, your dad was here the other day. Hi, Amy. How are we going? There's no sealed report coming out. So Amy has just said there's no sealed report coming out. Could you tell them why, please, Amy? A very uncomfortable watch. A very uncomfortable watch, but very eye-opening as well. So, Linda, I think it was accidental. No foul play. Vernon had Dick Grove look into it. Yeah, I think didn't Vernon do an investigation? Yeah, because Vernon was concerned. He got Dick Grove to do an investigation. Is that right? So Carolyn, not intentional, but I can see why Vernon thought he did. Yeah, I mean, don't forget, many of you have said it, guys. I mean, that Vernon was in shock, till the day he died. Yeah, it's true, though, isn't it? So Matthew says these SOBs are real. They just didn't get him, but they were trying. The autopsy will remain private. The death certificate that will be available after 50 years. That's Tennessee state law. Okay. There we are, guys. Amy there, clarifying things. Yes, and Morris Gibbs said Vernon couldn't think straight. Elvis had a vagal response from his colon issues and his heart gave up. Don't forget, Amy has got a medical background. She works in the medical field. Okay, guys? Anita says she thinks that Elvis's parents had heart problems. I think they did. Vernon definitely did. Elvis either took too much medication that night or accidentally was given an extra packet of contributed to his heart attack. This is his third attack, isn't it, guys? So, Hillbilly Cat, who filled out the death certificate? Surely it was Francisco. I have no idea, mate. I'm just a fan. No, Vernon it's the death certificate that will be made available in 50 years. Okay. 2027. Thanks, Linda. So what guys? Where are you having? Linda? What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean. You mean chat? Okay, so I'm just replying to Linda. Sorry guys. So Frederick said, doesn't everyone always say that Vernon had the autopsy sealed for 50 years? I need clarification, okay? So Amy is saying it's not true. Let's have a look. Come on, the general word of mouth is that it's going to come out after 50 years. That's the word of mouth. I can't say it's true. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just a YouTuber having a chat with you guys. The autopsy was requested by Vernon, so it will always remain private. Again, Tennessee state law makes all death certificates public after 50 years. Okay, so there may be confusion that it's the death certificate that was after 50 years, and maybe that's blurred into people believing it'll be the actual autopsy. I don't know, guys. Hillbilly Cat Matthew, the autopsy is private. EP has it. Elvis Presley Enterprises has it. They can release it whenever they want. Is that true? Okay, yeah, I'll join you. Yeah, Linda, yeah, sure. I'll join you on the chat. Definitely. Definitely, yeah. I'll be glad when 2020 passes so we can stop having the conversation. Yeah. The one thing I've learned about the Elvis world is the same stuff gets repeated again and again and again and again. It could be 100 things. Those same 100 things will always keep getting repeated. That's one thing I've learned. Not all of them true. Let's have a look. Okay, guys, I'm going to go now. So they can't see you now because I've got my big screen up. Guys, going to go. Thanks a lot. See you later. And very, very interesting show. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Thanks, Amy, for giving us some info. Thanks, Hillbilly Cat and Frederick and all the other people that know their stuff. See you later, guys. Got to go. I'll see you in the morning. See you in the morning. I'm still here. I'm still here. Take care, guys.